What's going on, everybody? Like every week, we end the show with The Finisher. The Finisher, we always ask you guys in the comment section what you feel. We try to give you guys something that we can talk about, a big talking point that you guys can get involved with us. The one this week that we decided on was XFL returning in 2020. Vince McMahon has promised that this is going to be less flashy than the previous one, and it's going to be more legitimate football. What are your thoughts on XFL?
So a few things. One, I don't know if I'm sure you heard that he doesn't want any guys with criminal records, DUIs, any of that. So that was a little scandal with Johnny Manziel. Will Johnny Manziel be able to play? I mean, if you're going off based off what Vince McMahon said, that's a no.
Yep.
But a lot of people said that he's not going to start this league without Johnny Manziel because that's the splash that he needs to get into the XFL.
See, I don't think
that's another story. That's another episode for another time. XFL, I'm happy about it. Because I am miserable with the NFL this whole year. I told you, I barely watched. I hate the NFL. I'm just tired of the NFL. So good. I hope the XFL does well. I want to watch the XFL. If they bring in some good guys, some good talent, I will watch the XFL.
I think that this was, and especially this playoff season for the NFL, I think this playoff season revitalized the NFL.
But the playoff season is always great. You always have good games.
You had amazing storylines to me in almost every game. Even you go down and you say the Tennessee Titans beat Kansas City Chiefs by a point. The Jacksonville Jaguars Buffalo Bills game, as bad as it was offensively, it now looks like both teams were just sick defensively, right? They might both have had some offensive issues, but both teams' defenses are legit because Jacksonville then went on to put up 65 points in 2 weeks against two teams that were Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
They only put up 10 points against Buffalo. The whole playoff year was a great one. You had storylines across the board. You had upsets. You had the Vikings game where you have the catch and the comeback and all this stuff.
But we're talking about the XFL.
No, and I'm saying, like, to me, the XFL, like, everybody talks about how football is dying, and now there's another league that is coming in to be football.
It's not that football is dying. It's the NFL is dying because of the way that they've been portrayed, the way that they've done and handled situations has been absolutely miserable. There's so many things wrong with the NFL, but there's so many things right with the NFL.
And that's the thing.
They need to work on
numbers
so
don't lie.
many things.
Numbers don't lie.
So many things.
And they know they need to. They allowed celebrations to come back into the game because they couldn't keep being the no fun league.
The replays are miserable. The catch. What's a catch? What's not a catch?
The catch rule.
Goodell
came out the other day and said, hey, I'm concerned about it. We need to fix it because there's plays that I'm watching that are catches that are getting overturned. And again, we all know I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and Buffalo Bills had two bad calls against them where you change the course of an entire game based off of a non-catch versus a catch rule. I think the XFL is going to find a home. I think it's going to be something that works. The only way it really takes off is if Vince McMahon is willing to deal with the sacrifice of, I might not get my best league in my first 5 years. I might not do it. I think there's some interesting ideas that the XFL could do. The XFL could put an age limit on this league.
Right.
And if you put an age limit on this league and say you have to be somebody who's anywhere between 19
that's what I was saying.
And 26.
It's almost like a minor leagues. But who doesn't like
an alternative league?
But who doesn't like watching sometimes, like, there's some crazy good minor leaguers out there that help get to the major leagues, or there's the
and you look
D-League,
at European basketball and the success that it's had.
Right.
You look at people showing up to D-League games.
You need personalities. I mean, who would have been talking about Lithuanian basketball with Melo and those guys? They need. I know you don't want the Johnny Manziel, but there's another guy out there, Timothy Tebow.
So you think Tim Tebow is going to give up his Mets career to go back and be a quarterback in the XFL? Because I co-sign that so hard.
You think he will?
Tim Tebow can tell me whatever he wants, right?
It depends.
Tim Tebow doesn't want to leave America and go to Canada. Right? He doesn't want to go to an obscure league. The XFL is going to provide both a financial and a platform for Tim Tebow to stay popular. And listen, I have my feelings on Tim Tebow. That guy wants to stay in the public eye as much as he possibly can. He's doing everything he can to be relevant for as long as he possibly can. And he can say that it's because he wants his mission, he wants his word to be able to get out there. I think it's just Tim Tebow likes being famous, and he's been famous his whole life.
He's
The
a good guy.
XFL gives him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but you can have an ego and you can be a good person. I think that this is a place where he gets to come and be an NFL level quarterback again in the XFL and try.
I
it
hope
off.
he comes back.
But how many quarterbacks
But I
have we
also
seen? I think if you're a backup quarterback for a team that was a first-round draft pick, why wouldn't you go to the XFL instead?
Yeah.
If you're Blaine Gabbert and you're making $1 million a year, if the XFL can pay you $3 million a year to be a starting quarterback, and you have all these guys who are practice squad players who, hey, you can go be a practice squad player or you can play in the XFL, play on NBC or play on the WWE network. Like, is WWE gonna, like, is World Wrestling Entertainment?
This is how I like it. I'm excited.
Are they going to make this part of their pay to watch series? Are you going to be able to watch those games on their network? If you are people going to pay the streaming fees to just download that whole thing? Right? Like, I feel like wrestling has grown even bigger and it's growing and it's finding other avenues. If Vince McMahon is going to make this real serious push of creating this entire league, I think he's got support, but I think he needs real owners. I think he needs real owners, not just himself.
Yep.
He can come in and he can be the person who's the impetus.
I'm trying to own a team.
But yeah, the lifestyle sports team.
Yeah, it'd be lit. But I think it's gonna be interesting.
Vince, hit us up.
I think it's gonna be interesting.
So we'll kick it to you guys. Do you think the league is going to be successful this time? Do you think that they're going to infringe on the NFL and pull some of the NFL's star players? Do they do reckless?
Do they get Tim Tebow or Johnny Manziel?
Does Le'Veon Bell not want to sign for whatever he's signing for? Does Odell Beckham want to go be the face of the XFL?
That'd be pretty cool.
If they're going to give him money and they're going to throw everything at him and they're going to give him a platform to be himself, and why not?
Yep.
Why not? It's a new world.
Yep.
Social media is a bigger thing than it was when the XFL came out last time.
Yep.
And you have an opportunity that they have a very strong social game. They have a very strong online game. XFL can make some noise. Guys, leave in the comments. Hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what you guys would do. Leave your comments at the bottom of YouTube if you're watching us there. Let us know, will the XFL in 2020 be a success? Or do we think this is going to be another failure for Vince McMahon and football? Guys, again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you later.